All right, guys, Marvel, not just Marvel, Marvel Television, focusing on a black female protagonist. Are you nervous? Are you scared? To be honest, I was. This is one of the last series that was handled under the Bob Chapek era, who came in and just wanted to produce and produce and produce everything without having a good structure. So I was nervous, but let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. All right, guys, now we have Ironheart, which is your latest Disney Plus show that is streaming on the platform for Marvel Studios, Marvel Television, coming in at 6 episodes, and the time length does vary. I will get to that in a second. This was created by sister Chanaka Hodge. This is what she looks like right here. There is no picture on IMDb, but if you want a gander, again, this is what the sister looks like. But if we scroll down and look at her filmography, she wrote The Midnight Club, was a few episodes there, Snowpiercer, Amazing Stories, Watsky, Exquisite Corpse, and Miles Away. I have not seen any of these, but if you are familiar with her work, please let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, this is also executive produced by brother Ryan Coogler, director of Sinners, Black Panther 1, 2, and Creed 1 as well. So guys, when it comes to my expectations for this TV series, they were very, very low. I wanted it to be good, but I just didn't have that confidence. And it seemed like the studio didn't either. There was not that much marketing for this show. They didn't release a trailer until not too long ago. Just nobody was talking about it. There was just no buzz. It just seemed like the studio wanted to kind of just sweep this under the rug because this was filmed like back in 2022, 2023. And I think it's just been sitting on the shelf. I heard rumors that they were ashamed of this because it doesn't fit within the MCU, the direction that they're trying to go now with the Russos and all this. This is just speculation. I don't know if it's true or not. Of course, now that I've seen it, I'm going to tell you. But going in, I was rooting for it. I wanted it to be great. I know that Anthony Ramos and Dominique Thorne, the titular character, was getting a lot of hate online, a bunch of haters, a bunch of racists, just a bunch of stupid people. But I was like, you know what? I like my comic book material, my comic book properties. And of course, it's people that look like me. So I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt anyway, as far as giving it a chance initially. I'm still going to be honest with my take, with my opinion. So, and also guys, I knew nothing about the Ironheart comic before watching this series. I just knew that it has some relation to Iron Man and that it's fairly new. Like I think the first issue was in 2016. And also the Hood character, the villain, I have no idea who he is, what his powers are, abilities, how he fights. I just knew that he has to do with magic and he wears a hood. So I was going into this very blind. So with that being said, guys, before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this Ironheart TV miniseries is all about. Genius teenage inventor Riri Williams creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. Okay guys, like I said in the intro, this does have 6 episodes and the run times are episode 1 is 41 minutes, episode 2 is 48 minutes, episode 3 is 53 minutes, episode 4 is 50 minutes, episode 5 is 57 minutes, and episode 6 is 40 minutes. So these are not some 28, 30 minutes episodes. Some of them do have a great length to it. They don't feel long, but that's just a good thing. And I kind of wanted to give you that idea if you were thinking about diving into this series. And I'm not gonna waste your time, guys. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good series. I thought it was pretty dope. Now, after the first episode, that's where things get better because being honest with you, keeping it real, the first episode was the worst. At the end of it, I was saying to myself, okay, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. There were a few cringe moments. It was okay. I wonder what everyone else is gonna think. Now, on a positive note, with the first episode, it is very fast paced. They hit the ground running, and it also doesn't really waste your time with an origin story. And I say waste your time because a lot of people don't like origin stories. I love them. I wish we would have gotten one with this character, but at the same time, it wasn't necessary because we did get an introduction of the character in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, with that film, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of my likes and dislikes, but I didn't love that film. One being I thought they crammed too much in that movie, one being the introduction of this character Ironheart. Like it's called Wakanda Forever. we didn't really get to know anything new about Wakanda, and that's because they was trying to introduce Namor and Talocan and also bring in Ironheart and some other stuff. So I kind of thought that she should have got her own intro, but if you saw that film, that may help. But if you didn't see that film, it won't hurt you at all. This right here is perfectly fine. Great thing about this show is, in my opinion, you don't have to see any other MCU shows or movies. There was a problem with some past films, especially Captain America, Brave New World, even though that is a movie. If you didn't see The Incredible Hulk in 2008, you was gonna be lost. That's not the case with Ironheart. Now, it will help if you did see the first Iron Man movie in 2008, because there are callbacks. And it also will help if you've seen Doctor Strange. I'll get to that in a second. But at the same time, guys, it is not necessary. So if you think you got to do a bunch of homework and go watch this and that, that is not the case. So that is very positive, especially in this first episode, which I said was not the best. The reason why I say it's not the best is there were just a few cringe moments to me with some of the supporting and surrounding characters in the background, but they didn't have that much screen time. But when they were introduced, I was saying like, oh, I don't like that. You got a bad taste in my mouth. That was corny. That was silly. Why are you doing this? This seems very, very unnecessary. I didn't even like the introduction of the Parker character who was playing the Hood in the first episode. I just kind of thought when we first saw him, it looked corny to me with his hood on. But again, guys, that's just the first episode. And once you get past that, the show does get better and better and better. I think it was a great job that they're releasing the first 3 episodes at one time. And then after that, the next week, episode 4, next week, episode 5, and then the next week, episode 6. Because if they just release episode 1 by itself, in the beginning, I don't think a lot of people return. But since you're getting the first 3 episodes at one time, I think that people will binge that and have a good time with it. I think they'll say, okay, this was pretty good. I liked it. I had low expectations, but it was better than I thought. I want to watch episode 4, or at least that's how it was for me. As far as the characters are concerned, I love Riri. Dominique Thorne, in my opinion, was born to play this role. She was perfect in this series. I do not have one complaint about her whatsoever. And what I liked about it is, for one, she's serious the whole time. I don't think in this whole series she tried to tell one joke, tried to be silly, tried to be goofy or anything like that. Now, I'm a silly, goofy person myself, but there is a time for a place for it. And sometimes Marvel forgets that. Sometimes when there's supposed to be a serious moment during a fighting scene or high tension, they want to throw in a joke or something like that, and it messes it up. The Russo brothers, in my opinion, are the only creators in this universe that can successfully mix jokes in with serious moments, but you don't have to worry about that at all with the character Riri. Now, there are moments in this to where I did laugh, but they were honest moments. It was just kind of her being herself. I'll give you one example. She was getting some DoorDash and getting some food delivered, and she's in the lab, so the person dropping off the food is like, what the hell is going on here? And she's getting the food and pays for it, and she's kind of looking like, okay, like, what are you looking at? Like, keep it moving. But it wasn't verbal. It was nonverbal body language and cues, and it was funny. But she was being serious. I mean, things are funny when you can relate to it, when it happens in real life. And that's just one example there. Sorry if you feel like I spoiled that, but I know when I was watching it, that was a point that I did laugh out loud. But she was great. As far as her AI technology, the Natalie character, I hated her character in the first episode. When you see it in the trailer, when she's coming online, she's like, who do you think it's supposed to be, bitch? Or whatever she said. I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. It sucked in the trailer and it sucked in the first episode. But episode 2 and beyond, Natalie was one of my favorite characters. I mean, she was a true staple in this, and the show would not have been as good if she was not a part of it. Now, the actress playing that role is someone by the name of Lyric Ross. I've never heard of her before, but I am now a fan. And anytime I see her pop up in any other movie or television show, I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, that was the girl from Ironheart. She did a great job. Hopefully she will do a great job in this too. I love the relationship, the dynamic that she had with Riri, with Ironheart as well, because she was basically her Alfred, you know, in the Batman universe with DC, like keeping Riri in check, always being on her shoulder, in her ear, like, hey girl, I don't think you should be doing this. This is a good idea. This is a bad idea. You need to look over here, do this instead. We always need somebody like that in our corner that's our cheerleader, that will praise us when we're doing great, but also keep it real with us when we BSing around. And that was the relationship between those two, and I thought it was perfect. Again, I did not like her intro in episode 1, but episode 2 through 6, she was one of my favorite characters as well. That's also the same case with another character by the name of John. I am not too familiar with this actor either. He is being played by Manny Montana. I've never heard of this gentleman before either, but I thought he did a great job. He's the same thing as Natalie, but instead of keeping Riri in check, he's keeping the antagonist, the villain, Parker, or the hood in check. These are just realistic characters, and that I like, hey man, you BSing, you effing around. Like, I'm not gonna be able to support you if you keep going down this dark path of violence and BS and crap. Like, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. He had a nice physical presence. When he walked into the room, he demanded authority, no joking around. I mean, very, very serious take. And like, he was smart, he wasn't backing down. He's somebody that you don't want to piss off or cross on his bad day. And another thing I forgot to mention about Riri was, on top of her being serious throughout this whole series, is she was very anxious and fearful. And I like that because in real life and in the show, being fearful, it keeps your guard up, okay? It makes you have your head on a swivel. You're not just walking around, la, 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 like everything is sunshine and rainbows. I mean, it's like she knew that at any moment she could die, or somebody with nefarious means could come and try to hurt her, harm her, or her loved ones. She was always trying to take care of somebody, head on the swivel, 24/7, 25/8, just like, I know there's danger around the corner somewhere, so I gotta be ready all the time. I can always respect that in a character, especially a woman. And so that's just another great thing about her character that I can't believe I forgot to mention. And on top of that, I did say that she's fearful, but that's not going to make her back down. She's still going to face whatever threat that's in front of her. And that makes her brave, and which makes me, again, like her character that much more. I also thought that there was great exposition in this without it feeling forced. It was all natural and organic to explain other things that was going on in the MCU. We've had so many shows and 30+ movies right now. So the threat of an alien invasion and Thanos and Skrulls and stuff, I mean, like, that happened yesterday. It's like a regular Tuesday now, you know? And so it's nice to see how just the general public reacts to someone flying in a suit. I mean, we know who the Avengers are. It's not just like a large spectacle. Like, the story and the tone, the plot fitting in with the current MCU and the past MCU, I thought that flowed very well. And I do like the exposition. Like I said, it did feel natural. There were some callbacks to Iron Man 1, like, oh, I remember that character. And they do introduce new characters that ties into that film as well. So it's like all cohesive in its nature, and just kind of shows the great writing from the creator, Sister Shanaka Hodge. Another thing that I liked about this series is there is no forced romance in this as well. I don't know, I could be wrong, but sometimes in movies and television, especially if you have a woman lead, they make you feel like she has to have a boyfriend or a husband or somebody she's sleeping with or whatever. That's not the case here. However, Riri does have a fond of another male character in this, but that's not the focal point. It's just kind of in the backdrop. I mean, she's human. Even though she is 10 toes down focused on all her tech and trying to get this Iron Man suit working properly, I mean, boys, men, or whatever, that is not really her concern right now. You know, I was about to spoil something, but I won't. I like that there is no forced romance whatsoever. And she always takes advantage of every situation that she's in. And also, at one point in time, I didn't even know if we really should be rooting for Riri. I was like, wait a minute. Are you the good guy, or are you the bad guy? Are you a criminal, or are you a protagonist or an antagonist? And I like that. I had my doubts for a moment there, and I was really interested in where the story was headed. So it definitely does keep your attention, in my opinion. There's another small flurry of supporting characters as well. There was this young boy. He could have been no older than 10 or 12 years old that was, you know, walking around the neighborhood. Everybody knows him. I thought he was adorable. He was very smart. He kind of made me laugh here and there. I mean, he's about getting his money too, and I respect it as well. I just also love the relationship that Riri had with her mother. That was beautiful, okay? Their dynamic was perfect. I saw myself in conversations that they were having amongst themselves. Like, the mother is being a great mother and wants to have this relationship with her daughter, but she doesn't want to be a helicopter parent either. But that also has positive and negative repercussions for the way that Riri receives it as well. Like, you know, hey mom, I know you're trying to do this and you mean well, but you're doing it this way. Well, I'm doing it this way because of this. Well, you're doing it this way, and then this happened. It's like, man, I kind of understand both sides. Like, these characters in this film, and maybe just because they're black, you know, and I'm being biased or something like that, but they were very, very relatable. Just being tired in general of life itself and just the cost you dealt with is telling. And it was in this series. I think everybody could relate to that, but I was able to relate to it on a personal level. I don't know if you will, maybe see the series and come back in the comment section and let me know. But besides all the tech and the gadgets and the magic and the AI, there was very nice, loving and endearing moments between these characters that will make your heart melt. I want to say make you cry, but it will make your heart melt a few times here and there. I thought the CGI was fine. I thought it was decent. This series is not necessarily heavy on action, but it does have good healthy doses here and there sprinkled out. And I think it's a crowd pleaser. I know that one thing that many fans will be happy with is they do introduce a character that many fans of the MCU have been talking about for a while. That character is finally here, and I love the introduction of it. And as far as magic is concerned, there is a good amount of AI technology in this series and also magic, dark magic. And I really like the way that they handled it. That's why I was saying that this kind of does tie into Doctor Strange slightly, but it's with the sound, especially how I like what they did with the magic. Someone's voice, when they are turning over to the dark side or showing their true self or becoming evil, sometimes their voice would get deep, high pitched, distorted, or a combination of the two or three. And it was very effective. I was like, whoa, you are dangerous. Let me go that way. You know, like you don't want to be messing around with these people when it comes into magic and possession and things of that nature. And so it's a pretty good mixture of technology, AI, and magic in this series. I think they knocked it out the park, to be honest with you, because it is familiar with to a degree because we saw it in Doctor Strange, but they also have some new fresh elements as well that you can love and appreciate too. And they're also not afraid to kill people in this as well. Now, the overall plot, like what is the mission? Like what does the hood want? It isn't the strongest plot or story, but it's not bad. Once you realize towards the end of the series what motivated them, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but you can kind of understand where they're coming from. And I'm not really complaining. At one point towards the end, I was saying to myself, oh, this is it? That was kind of anticlimactic. But then they opened up another door that turned into another whole realm of possibilities on where you could go with the MCU. And I said in my intro, like, I didn't think, or I heard speculation online that this may not tie into other MCU projects, that this may hit a dead wall. I don't think that. They kind of left you at a cliffhanger with this, like, oh, I mean, you ended the series, but you also kept it open. Are we going to get a season 2? I definitely hope so. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about the hood. Parker, played by Anthony Ramos. I thought he did good. I thought he did well. He was pretty convincing. I really didn't care for his motivation when that was revealed at the end of the series, but he was a solid character that posed a worthy threat, and I loved him going against Riri Williams, Ironheart, and or them working together or not working together. But before I go on, guys, those are things that I did like about the series. Let me transition to a few nitpicky things that I really didn't care for, but also hit that subscribe button and leave a comment, thumbs up. The only thing that I really didn't like in the series is episodes 1 and 2. I didn't really care for the hand-to-hand fighting. It just seemed a bit too choreographed, a bit too theatrical. It just didn't seem realistic. There was more fighting at the end of the series and in the middle, but small spoiler here, and I think in episodes 1 and 2, some characters had to fight some security guards, and it just kind of seemed phony baloney to me. I was rolling my eyes like, this just doesn't look real at all. This looks super duper rehearsed. And in movies and television, when they're filming a fight scene, an action scene, yes, it is all choreographed, but what makes it good or bad is if it looks natural or not. I don't want it to look choreographed. I don't want them telegraphing the punches where they're pulling their fist all the way back like, okay, here I come now. Ah. Or like, I hate it when they swing and they swing over the person's head instead of trying to swing at the person's head. It was stuff like that. But other than that, guys, I really did enjoy this series. I'm not saying that this is the best Disney Plus show, but it was pretty solid. It was pretty entertaining. I mean, there's not really anything that I can complain about. I know you're gonna have some haters saying that this is woke and the MCU, none of that. None of that. This show series does not give you any ammunition to make those stupid, ignorant arguments, in my opinion. I'll go ahead and give my rating for this at the very end, but for now, guys, that was just my opinion, and I wanna thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, share it, all that good stuff. I was also blessed enough to talk to Ryan Coogler and the creator of this show, Shanaka Hodge. Just one question in a roundtable. I will be posting that soon. But until then, guys, I will go ahead and give my rating right now. I will go ahead, if I had to rate Ironheart out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Yes, an 8 out of 10. Guys, I enjoyed the series. I hope we get a season 2. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it as well. Come back here and let me know in the comment section whether you agree or not, if you like the series, all that good stuff. But guys, thank you again. And before you go, don't forget, I'm B. Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace. And I'll see you next time.